I'm Tony. Please tell us what's your story and what did you have to say?
Yeah, I guess I can go. My name's Justin, Justin Reinick. Um, and basically, I have a medical exemption. I have severe asthma and I have a really hard time breathing just on my own as it is, never mind if I have something over my face. And I went into a grocery store the other day on Thursday. This will be the third time I've faced major discrimination, but this is the most recent. I went into a grocery store. I was shopping for about 20 minutes at a health food store. I was filled up my cart pretty good. I talked to a family friend that works there for a little bit. I got asked by a worker there if I needed help with, and I said I know I was okay. And then I went to go to the checkout, and I was starting to put my stuff on the belt, and then this the trainee was ringing my stuff up, and then there was an employee helping her behind her. And that employee said, "Where's your mask?" And I said, "I have a medical exemption. I can't wear a mask. I just can't do it." And she said, "There's no such thing." And I'm like, "Well, no, there is a medical exemption. It states it in the public health mandate." So she went to go to the, excuse me, went to go get the manager. And then the manager came up to me, and then I started recording a video immediately because I knew just from past experiences it wasn't going to go right. And I just told her I'm going to start recording this conversation, and then she proceeded to tell me that I have to put a mask on and there's no medical exemptions. And I said, well, that's not true. There are. I can play you a video of Mr. Rusin saying it. That's our health officer. Or I can show you the mandate, and I have my doctor's note. The all three employees proceeded to tell me to put a mask on, and they were, I don't know, being very rude. And then I asked to see all their identifications and recorded them all. And the one employee slapped my cell phone out of my hands and knocked it behind the cash register. And in doing so, my screen had got scratched. And I had to go retrieve my cell phone from behind the till because, I mean, cell phone isn't brand new. It's a new iPhone, right? They're about $1,200. They're not cheap, right? So I went, I didn't even think about it. I just went to go get my phone. So I went behind the till and went and got my phone, and went and started recording, kept on recording. And then a customer behind started just screaming at me profusely, like telling me to F off and all profanity, like calling me F and this, F and that, and just screaming at me through his mask, telling me I had to put a mask on, show me your certificate. And I had my doctor's note on me. And at this point, I was already done. So I was like, you know what? Here, you want to see my doctor's note? Like, normally I just show a police officer to prove my point, but here's my doctor's note. And then, like, they just kept on going, right? And then I just kept on saying, are you going to ring my stuff up? And then the manager was just on the phone with the police trying to get me in trouble, saying I was being aggressive and I was scaring the till people because I went behind the till. But I mean, they assaulted me, knocked my $1,200 cell phone out of my hand, scratched the screen, which we all know how expensive that can be. And yeah, I went to go retrieve my phone. I didn't even think about how I'm like in anything about it. So I just went to get my phone. So I don't know. It's amazing how people will like turn things around on you, and like you basically have to like record from like the time you walk into the store to the time you leave, which is really disturbing. Like I don't even feel safe to not do that anymore. The other day when I went shopping, I wore a body camera. Like I would have a body camera for like security and stuff, because I do street outreach and do activism. Uh, I've run into so many instances where security guards can overstep and they can infringe on your rights, and if you don't have a recording, you you really, it's your word against theirs. So I'm a firm believer that we should always have body cameras when we know our rights are going to be infringed on. And I know through my past experiences over the 3 years of doing activism, with vegan activism, to have a body camera. So yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing now all the time. When I went to the store, I had no problems when I was in Walmart. And then like it's like it makes you feel a little bit safer, right? And if you're by yourself, it can be really difficult, right? You know, you could run into a situation like J Love, and that could be just like, you know, I've been there before where you're the one that's getting put to the ground before by the police for nothing. And it's really difficult, and especially when you're alone. And I couldn't imagine them forcing me to put a mask on too. So I was just lucky to be able to record the whole interaction, and then I'm trying to press charges for my cell phone being damaged and for being hit, and we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to file also human rights complaints on the whole incident as well, because I mean, something has to be more done, considering I have the whole incident recorded. And if you were to see it, it's very shocking to see the mob collective think of people and how scary they can get, because it's just like it was like 5 people screaming at me at once, and it gets very, it's traumatic.